Hey everyone, welcome to Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel and this is my reality. So, listen, I wanted to come on here today to talk a little bit about DJEnvy and P. Diddy. Apparently, let me say this first. Everything said or mentioned or written on Chanel's Reality is, in my opinion, is for entertainment purposes only, and it is all alleged. Now, let's get down to the get down. So, I used to feel bad for DJEnvy after I watched that video where what's his name? Dame Dash just literally annihilated him. I was like, ooh, because Dame Dash was on there talking about, you have a boss. I don't have a boss. Like, I was like, what did DJ do to him? Like, oh, I just felt bad because I felt like it wasn't a fair fight, right? But now this ninja is on the internet talking about he believes Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Diddy Combs, and don't mind, I'm at a hotel in Jamaica, and so there's airplanes flying ahead. So if you hear loud noises, that's what that is. But he all on the internet talking about he thinks P. Diddy should get bail. Say what? That man is a danger to society. Why are you saying outside of your mouth this man should get bail? You do have daughters, right? I believe DJEnvy has daughters. I think he has 4 daughters. But let me just look. Let's look at Google. Let's see. Oh, the internet says he has 6 daughters. So DJEnvy has 6 daughters or 6 children, let me say it like that. And he thinks that Diddy should get out of should be given bail. He thinks that Diddy should be given bail because Weinstein and Epstein and Bill Cosby and R. Kelly, whoever these people are, they all got bail. So Diddy should be given bail as well. Are you outside of your mind, DJEnvy? Come to the front. How do you have children and see what this man did to Cassie and think that this person is okay to be out of jail? Are you serious? But then I got to thinking, I was like, you know what? He's a criminal too. So of course he agrees with P. Diddy. Of course he sided with P. Diddy. So listen, I don't know if y'all remember, but DJEnvy was accused of wire fraud. I think this was either last year or the year before, which is why I'm like, you need to shut the hell up before the feds come try to figure out why they hadn't placed you in jail yet. So it makes sense now to me why he would speak on that. Like, why would you want a danger to society roaming the streets? He's like, oh, well, he gave up his passport and he said he was only going to be on his property. I don't care what he said. I don't care what he said. He's a danger to society. But if you're also a criminal, it makes sense that you wouldn't mind for other criminals to be out and about. But the worst part is, for me, is you have children. And clearly, other children at the time are accusing this man of sexual assault. Remember, he said, I ain't do anything. I ain't do anything. Those people are lying on me. And the truth will come out. That's what Diddy said. And the truth surely did come out on that video where Cassie's trying to get away and he beat the brakes off her. That's what the truth was, in a public hallway at a hotel. But this is who you support? And you have a wife? And you have daughters? And this is who you want, who you believe should get bail? Because his children are 17 years old? So what? Who cares at how old his children are? Because clearly he didn't care. So we supposed to have all this care. I care about his kids, but I don't think his children, I don't think this criminal needs to be out of jail simply because he has children. No, if that's the case, run everybody out of jail because all of them got children. Almost all of those people in prison have children. We're not sitting around saying, well, let's let all the other criminals out. So why should we be making some sort of exception for this man? It's beyond disgusting to me. But again, like I said, I think if you're a criminal, you're involved in a criminal case of wire fraud and what's the other word that they use for what him and that Caesar Pina guy. I forget the singer. Is it Caesar Pina? I can't remember what his name is, but this is why I feel like he's guilty. He's guilty. What other reason? What would be a logical reason to free free P. Diddy? I'll wait. What's the logical reason? I think the people who think that Diddy is not guilty, or the people that want to quote unquote wait and see, but they want to say the alleged victims are all lying and they're all out here for a money grab and this, that, and the third. But they want to let the alleged criminals, those people need all the justice in the world. We got to let them out. We got to let them out. We can't have him just stuck up in some disgusting, prison. Maybe those people should think twice about violating others, violating children, violating women, violating boys, violating men. If they had thought about that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But they don't give a shit about that. And now I have to put DJEnvy in the same box that I put Diddy, because you over here trying to protect this savage human being. For what? It makes me wonder, did someone send you something and say, hey, you better go out there and you better say something? You better get his back. Remember how he got your back? Because what logical person that isn't evil would say to themselves, well, just let this man out of jail? I mean, because y'all let all the other savages out of jail. This is not an all lives matter moment. Okay? Who gives a shit about how they let Epstein and Weinstein and Bill Cosby and whomever out of jail? We're not talking about that. We're talking about what's going on right now. People love to change the subject. They want to make it about Black men. They want to make it about quote unquote the culture. They want to make it about hip hop. It's not about none of that. It's about a savage that was able to rape and kill and do all kinds of things and get away with it for 30 years. And so now y'all think that y'all going to change the minds of the good people, the smart people, the intelligent people, the people that use both sides of their brain. And we supposed to say, yeah, it's okay to let them out because Epstein got out. I don't care about none of that. I think all of them belong under the jail, but that's not what this is about. Stop making it about that. What we need to be looking at is what this man has gotten away with for 30 years and why you in support of him being out and about. Because let's be clear, it is not only some random women that, quote unquote, wanted a cash grab or whatever it is the savages want to say about women who report, someone sexually assaulting them. It's not only them. From what I understand, 20 something people that were children at the time is what one of the attorneys in Houston is saying. He has victims. But it isn't only them. I've read actually that some of the victims were staff. That one guy, oh God, I forget his name. He's also suing P. Diddy. Oh God, what is his name? Lil Rod, I believe, is the one. That was his staff. From, if you read Lil Rod's lawsuit, he says that, he would wake up, they would force him to drink, and he would wake up, naked next to sex workers. And then this also enrages me. These people that are just like, well, they're just having fun. They're just engaging in adult activities. No, they're not. They're not engaging in adult activities. You can't consent if you're drugged or drunk out of your mind. You can't consent if you're under the age of 18. You can't. And it bothers my soul that these other men like DJEnvy are out here saying this shit. Like, what do you tell your daughter? You sending your daughter over there to hang out with P. Diddy, DJEnvy? You not. So lead a chat right now, immediately. You're not sending your child over there. You're just like Usher. What did Usher say on Howard Stern's show? Howard Stern, who I can't stand either. But Howard Stern said, yo, didn't you go to flavor camp with Diddy when you was like 13, 14 years old? He's like, yeah. He's like, now that you have children, would you send your children over there, Usher? Oh, hell no. But you send Justin Bieber over there. And God knows however many other children. You didn't care about their life. And look at what Justin Bieber looks like now. I did a video on him yesterday. Look at that man, what he looks like now. He looks like a complete shell of himself. And I believe wholeheartedly he started using drugs to cope with what happened to him in this savage industry. But anyway, let's get into like some of the things that DJEnvy. Hold on, someone said they released Trump. He need to be in jail too. And someone else said, my concern is the safety of the victims. Exactly. So this man gets out of jail because y'all don't want him to, have to be in there with other savages or just because, oh, these other people didn't have to go. It's interesting to me. If you watch the main hitters that the federal government has gone after, like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Weinstein, Epstein. If you watch, these people go from the most vibrant, lively people to literally within 3 months, they all in a walker. They can't really stand up. They need a walking stick. It's bananas. It's all theater. It's all theater. It's not real. Now, can I say these people don't have some sort of health problem? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying they seem to be doing just fine when they have people out there going and getting 15-year-olds to come have sex with these old, disgusting human beings. They seem perfectly fine in. They could get up their whatever then. They go to jail and it's all over now. They just I can't handle the stress of this. It's sad to me. And what's worse is your daughter is watching you, DJEnvy. Your daughter is watching you support this criminal. Not only is he just a criminal, he's a sex offender. Sex has nothing to, people who commit sexual assault, be very clear, it doesn't ever have anything to do with sex. It has to do with power and control. Diddy is in a situation where he has zero power and zero control. Zero. And he wants out. He wants to get back to the pink powder or whatever it was that the Homeland Security found in his home or in his room when he was staying at the hotel. He wants to get back to that. He doesn't give a shit about none of these people, including you, DJEnvy. Don't care about you. Don't care about none of these people. That man, in my opinion, from what I've read in the documents that are for people in their lawsuits, evil. That is the only word to describe it. Evil. And so now I'm looking at DJEnvy and I'm like, I can't trust none. I mean, nobody has a backbone. How do you, I get it now. It's like, I've been working in sex crimes my whole adult life. But what do you do, DJEnvy, when your wife or your daughter or your son, whomever, listens to this, listens to DJEnvy basically say, well, we feel like P. Diddy should be released on bail. Would you say that if your daughter was violated by Diddy? If you wouldn't, shut the hell up. You sending your daughter over there to go be violated? You think you letting your daughter hang out with him? You're not. But it's okay for him to violate whoever these hundreds of people at this point, probably even thousands. It's okay. You're perfectly fine with this man violating these people all this time. And you didn't say a word. Not one. I ain't heard. Put it in the chat if y'all put it in the chat, the link where DJEnvy has been talking about this man for 10 years. He hasn't. And he's had him on that show, on that Breakfast Club show, multiple times. I ain't never hear him mention it once. But he got his back now. There's no way in hell me and my husband would still be married if my husband went on, if he said out of his mouth privately or publicly that we need to let Diddy out of jail while he's waiting on his trial. What do you tell your daughter? So now your daughter's confused, multiple of them, because you got multiple daughters. They're all confused. I don't know how your wife sleep with you. But anyways, let me let y'all, I'm going to pull up some of the criminal activity that DJEnvy is involved in. Let me share my screen. Hold on one second. Is this the one I want to play? Okay, let's see.
Exclusive update. Radio personality DJEnvy responding to our investigation about investors who say that they were conned by his business partner.
Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace broke the story last night and joins us with the new details.
My attorneys don't want me to speak, but I think there's things that I need to clear up a little bit.
I think you should listen to your attorney.
Up until today, DJEnvy has never publicly addressed the controversy surrounding his one-time business partner, Cesar Pena, on the celebrities syndicated show, The Breakfast Club. In fact, Envy has repeatedly promoted Pena's real estate seminars and investment opportunities.
What up, y'all? It's DJEnvy, Flippin' NJ.
Even as lawsuits began mounting by investors who claimed they were ripped off by Cesar for hundreds of thousands of dollars in a real estate venture involving distressed New Jersey properties, not a word from Envy on the air until the I-Team interviewed multiple alleged victims who say they bought in because of the reputation of the radio host.
DJEnvy absolutely is equally to blame. He is on a major platform, which is not only in New York, but across the United States.
Envy on his show, now denying any involvement in Caesar's real estate deals.
Now, Caesar, if he took money, I wasn't privy to it, nor did I even know. But for anybody to say I was involved, that's totally not true.
And he's trying to do damage control. It was DJEnvy who personally introduced me to Caesar.
Anthony Barone says he toured Paterson, New Jersey properties with Envy and Caesar, then invested $500,000 in a planned apartment project and another $300,000.
I invested in Flip to Down, which was an online platform for fractional shares in buildings. DJEnvy is listed as the co-founder. I'm down $800,000.
And you think he's responsible in some way?
I think he's absolutely responsible.
It's not true. Like, well, that's fake news. Like, those are fake stories.
What was your reaction to DJEnvy's response?
I was shocked, honestly, because I truly believe he knew Caesar was scamming people.
Michael Ventura says he invested $200,000, his life savings, in a Paterson property. As with virtually everyone we spoke with, he also heard that Envy pitch.
This is unfair. It's unfair. We're trying to chase the American dream, just working, provide the best for our family. And then that dream is being crushed.
Caesar declined to be interviewed on advice of his attorneys. His wife, Jennifer, promised they will make investors whole.
Where's all the money? Where did all the money go?
That's a Caesar answer for you right there. There's no private island. There's no house in the Dominican Republic. There's no yachts. There's no fancy cars. That's an answer for Caesar to give to you, not for me.
Envy's attorney is now seeking to have all of the lawsuits against him dismissed. iHeartMedia could be named in future lawsuits. Several investors telling us they believe the corporation could be held legally culpable for their star's endorsements, now under scrutiny. From Tribeca.
So this is why I can't with him. I feel like this is one of those situations where you're already a criminal. You're already doing some savage things behind, closed doors. And now that someone found out what you were doing and they want to hold you accountable, you want to say, oh, I wasn't privy to none of that. So you're not privy to anything. You don't know anything, yet you're pulling people into the circle. You're pulling people that based on your name in New York or across the United States, based on this idea that you are some well-to-do, honest human being, because you are out there in front. You're probably the most highly paid person at the Breakfast Club, is my assumption. So of course you've been in that position for however many years now. So of course people around you are like, well, if he's wealthy, and he's saying that he's done this to garner more wealth, then that's how he's, making money. Why would I not trust him? Of course they're going to trust you. And that they are. And everybody that's on this news channel, sorry, y'all, I'm still in Jamaica. There's people in the hallway. They doing stuff in the hallway. I don't know what's happening. They probably drunk. But anyways, it's like, of course, these people are going to trust you. You're a famous face with a famous name, and you supposedly are wealthy or have some level of wealth. And of course, they're going to trust you. They're going to trust you more than they trust their neighbor, because you live in the life. You know what I'm saying? It's very similar to me to those people, to those young ladies or young men, whomever, who wanted a shot at, a music career with Shitty Diddy is what I call him, but with P. Diddy. They see this man, they see what he's done, all the hip hop stars that he's created, and so on and so forth. They're like, this, if you're going to ever have a guy to be the guy for you, that's the one. Not realizing they're walking right into the devil's arms. And then people shaming them. Well, you should have known. How am I supposed to know you the devil? You walking around the earth, acting like you this good guy. You giving stuff to the kids. It's like nonsense. To gaslight people, make people think, well, they should have just known. I wouldn't have known. How would I have known? But to me, people like DJEnvy to try to wash his hands of it and act like, well, I didn't do anything. I didn't have nothing to do with none of that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You knew everything that was going on. You went to those parties. You were at those parties. Now he's claiming, oh, well, I left before the real party happened. Well, how do you know what the real party is? What's the real party? You had to have known. But you still probably saying, yeah, it's a good time to go hang out with Diddy. Just like you're saying now, oh yeah, y'all should let Diddy out of jail. Yeah, let's let him out. Again, for all of the people that sit around and want to blame the victims and want to say, oh, they were after money or they were after clout and they were after this, that, and the third. Please put your hand up in the air. For all of y'all that think this man need to get out of jail and he deserves his day in court and all that, please let me know in the chat. Which one of y'all are sending your kids to go hang out with him or your adult children? Because a lot of people got taken advantage of during the, I would say, Sean John campaigns. They wanted to be models. And if you read in these lawsuits, yeah, they wanted to be models. And it was like, well, yeah, you can be a model. You just got to go suck Puffy off. And then, maybe you got to drink this drink that is going to intoxicate you. And you won't be able to say no. How do you know? How do you watch Cassie get the brakes beat off of her because she's trying to get away? And you you still in your good mind can say, this man he deserves bail. That was your wife he was beating the brakes off of. Would he deserve bail? We got to use both sides of our brains here. Like, listen, I'm on Chanel's reality and I use both sides of my brain. I don't understand the logic that goes into it. And I'm saying that, tongue in cheek, because I do understand the logic that goes into it. The logic is I got shit to hide too. So I'm going to stand up for the person that's over here doing whatever. I don't want to say anything because then when they pull all my shit from underneath the carpet and out of the closet, I want people to support me and say, oh, well, no, let's let DJEnvy stay at home too. Even though we got all of these people yelling, this man, we invested our money based on who this man is. And now all of our money is gone. But DJEnvy, I don't have none of that. I didn't know none of that was going on. I wasn't aware of it. So either you are a dumb business person and you are not paying attention to what you're signing, you're not reading the information, the contracts that are going out to these people, or you knew. But you can't have it both ways. You can't say, this is a good business investment to all these people who got scammed. This is an excellent business, idea. And it's an excellent business investment. And you're going to make a lot of money because I have a lot of money. And then when you get found out, you're like, oh, but I didn't know anything. Yes, you did. Because that's what you told the people that believed you. You told them this man is flipping money and he's a friend of mine and he been flipping this minute. You told these people that and they bought into it. They believe you based on your name and your alleged wealth. It's not exactly the same, but it would be similar to Oprah having a TV show and saying, hey guys, everybody go and buy this book. Remember she had that book club or whatever, and instantly those books would be first, what do they call it? Oh, I forget what they call it. They would be at the top of the list. It's a name for it, but I can't think of it. It escapes me right now. Bestseller. Immediately they would be bestsellers. And people knew that. Why? Because it's associated with Oprah. And I'm saying it's the same thing with DJEnvy. That's why those people were saying, okay, I'm going to invest $500,000. I'm going to invest $1 million. I'm going to invest $300,000-$400,000 because you are the reason that I'm making this investment. It's on your name. And then you are basically standing in the gap for this savage P. Diddy. You cool with it? Lock his ass up too. I just can't. Hey, Larger Curves. She said DJEnvy is guilty too. Agreed. Larger Curve says, doesn't Envy leave his father? I absolutely cannot. I think so. And I actually listen. I don't know how many people watch The Breakfast Club, and I don't even watch it like that. But I do remember years ago, I turned it on and Dame Dash was on there and he literally ate DJEnvy for breakfast. Pun intended. He ate that man for breakfast. He was like, you're not a boss. You have somebody that you answer to. I'm a boss. I don't answer to no. I was like, oof, Jesus. I was like, damn. I'm like, what did Envy do to you? He seems the most likable of the people on the show, aside from the one girl who has her own, I forget her name, but she was the one lady holding it down on Breakfast Club at the time. Because Charlamagne is also a savage. But anyways, because this is what trips me out about Charlamagne. Charlamagne said after, Diddy, I think, was accused of all this stuff, he was like, Diddy, he shouldn't even be alive. And I'm paraphrasing what he said. But I'm like, Charlamagne, didn't you say on TV or on the radio? He said it somewhere live that he basically raped the lady. He was like, well, she wasn't conscious when we were having sex. Then that's rape, sir. People can't consent if they're unconscious. And then he was trying to walk away. He was like, well, she already was into me before we got there. Okay, she could be into you, but if she's not coherent, that's called rape. Period. Knock it off with the semantics. And now here we go with DJEnvy talking about, well, if these other people, were able to get out of jail, and wait at home, and P. Diddy said that he would put up, this $50 million bail. Let's be very clear. P. Diddy wasn't giving the courts, the Southern District of New York, $50 million. Let's just knock it all the way off. They only take, when you have a bond or a bail or whatever, it's only like 10%. So this alleged billionaire would have only given over like $5 million. It's chump change. It's like me saying I'm gonna give $100 for bail. It's not $50 million that he would have been given the court. Let's be very clear. But people think, oh, well, if he's giving in that much money to get out of jail, we should take it. He's not. He's giving $5 million. So please knock it all the way off. But this man is giving up everything. And then also too, I'm like, why is he giving his children's passport? But let's say, even if he gave his children's passport, his mom's passport, everybody, y'all think this man doesn't know other people that are wealthy? All of the other people that people keep saying, oh, there's people that are, it's not just Diddy. Let's stop changing the conversation. I know, we all know, anybody with a brain knows it's not just Diddy. Anybody that's graduated from the 5th grade can see it isn't just him. Nobody can keep a secret that long for 30 years and nobody say anything about it without other participants. That's very obvious. But when we start changing the subject and we're like, well, we need to get to the people above him. Yeah, we do. But right now, that's not what we're talking about. You don't need to go to the breast cancer seminar and talk about brain cancer. Brain cancer is equally as important and should be given an equal amount of time to, talk about it, right? It should be. But when you start muddying the water with all these people who are bigger and who have more and all that, then what happens to the public is the public gets distracted. And so then when they easily let people like Diddy off and they give them bail, they make some sweetheart deal, then it's like, well, no one cares because at least we got this bigger fish. I obviously care about the bigger fish. I do. But when you do that, then it's too much information. That's kind of how I feel about with all of the people that are coming forward. I agree. All of the victims, they should come forward and they should say everything that happened to them 100%. But unfortunately, we have a society where we live in they become overwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed by it, but people become desensitized to it. And then they start, well, I don't know if we could believe everybody and this, that, and the third. So people get overwhelmed. That's why we don't need to be moving it on. Until this man is convicted, we don't need to be moving it on. That doesn't mean that the federal government and whomever else, shouldn't be looking into these people. I hope that they are, and I believe that they are. But we can't use the distraction tactics that people want to use. The distraction tactics to me include things like, well, they just want to take down this black man. They just don't like hip hop. They're trying to destroy this mogul. They don't want to see this man be able to, whatever it is. Those are all distractions. It's to get people to shift their thought process to another thing. It doesn't have anything to do with this man being black or black excellence or black people at all. It has everything to do with this man being a fucking savage. Let's just call it what it is. Period. He is a menace to society. He doesn't deserve to be out of jail. He doesn't. He deserves to be right in there with the other animals. And I'm not saying everybody in there is an animal because I 100% know some people get railroaded. They do. Some people that are in prison didn't do it. We know that to be a fact. What was it? Those young boys that were was it the Central Park 5? I think is what they were called. None of them were guilty. They sat in prison for a good portion of their life. That is an atrocity, and that should never happen. But that's the exception. That is not the rule. And this don't have nothing to do with black men or black women should be holding black men down. It had nothing to do with that. Because this man was sitting wherever he was in the world, continuously raping women. Him and his friends, Aaron Hall and all the rest of them. So my understanding is I don't have no understanding. And I certainly don't understand people who can sit here and rationalize it and say this man deserves, like, how do you say to yourself, I think that this person deserves anything? after you see the way he mauled that young lady in the hallway? How do you read these lawsuits and then still come? Sorry, guys, that's my husband calling me. And still come to the conclusion that we should let him out. He's an animal. He deserves to live in a cage. I said what I said. It ain't changing over here. Like I said, I've worked my whole entire adult life with sex crimes. And the reason that it keeps going on is because you have gatekeepers like DJEnvy and Ray J, who, anyway, you have people like this who want to keep it going so that they can still be involved in it. So they can still take everything from people. Let's see. Larger Curve says, allegedly Puff Booty, I'm not playing with you, is a grudge holder and likes to have his revenge via remote control lodged into your I heard about that. And then in, hold on, is it private? Then a 4-person train. Exactly. Exactly. Larger Curve says Charlamagne is a rapist and set sniffer. I agree. Oh my God, I'm in the middle of a live. I'm in the middle of a live. Can I call you back? Hello? I'm gonna call you back. My husband would not be calling for me right now if I was in the middle of this live. Yeah, I love him though, but I'm just saying, what is a seat sniffer? I don't know what that means. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. I am in the middle of a live. Can you listen to me? What is it? Is it important? Yes. Can you mail it? Oh my God. Okay. Can you call me back in 10 minutes? I'm in the middle of a live. Please. Okay. Give me 10 minutes. I'm almost done. Thank you. Love you. Bye. Sorry, guys. Anyways. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, I don't know what a seat sniffer is. Is that she was a minor also, like 16. He was over 25. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, Roger Kerr said, enjoy my vacation, child. I have been enjoying my vacation. I got to go home tomorrow and get back to reality. But yeah, I don't understand how. I could understand if you're a man, you may not understand certain things, just like I'm a woman and I'm not going to understand certain things in terms of being a male, right? So I get that. But what bothers me and boggles my mind is you're a man and you know that this man has done something. Because the Southern District of New York isn't just going to they're not going to send Homeland Security in for absolutely nothing. So you know this man is guilty of a lot. You know this. Because have y'all ever seen a time in life where the entirety of the whole entertainment industry is sitting on mute? Nobody is saying one word. Y'all ever seen that before? I've never, in my 44 years on earth, I've never seen the entire entertainment industry shut up except for Pete. What's the other guy's name? What's his name? 50 Cent. He the only one, really. And then that Jaguar Wright lady. So Search D for You says the victims probably wouldn't have come forward if he wasn't locked up. 100%. I agree, 100%. So then you let him out, and guess what happens to the victims? We already know based on, like, if y'all go back and look at what he did to Kid Cudi, allegedly, he blew up that man's car because he took Cassie on a date. And he told him that's what he was going to do. And it happened. And Kid Cudi said, yes, my car got blown up. That's what he said. You think that type of person should be around us in society? If you go and watch any of my other videos about Diddy, this man has so many bodies around him that people suddenly have fake brain aneurysms and they all dying of pneumonia and heart attacks that don't have any health issues. Where does that happen? Y'all ever heard of that? Because I ain't never heard of that. Not typically healthy young people. Can people be healthy and die from something like that? Absolutely. But why do they all have 1 degree of separation from this man? Sean Diddy, whatever his name is, Shitty Diddy. They all seem to be in contact with him. And the sad thing to me is, like, How do you support someone like that? And let's be clear. If you're his brother, his sister, his mom, or his dad, I can't ever say anything. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't give a shit if it was my brother. You're dead to me. This is the type of behavior you got going on. You're dead to me. But I'm a different type of chick. At the same time, I could understand why his mom is going to ride for him. His sister's going to ride for him. His brother. I understand that. And his kids. I understand that. But everybody else, I don't get it. You don't owe this man anything, do you, DJ? Or does he have you on videotape too? Because that is the only reason I can think of why this man basically knows everybody in the industry and responsible for lots of people's success. Even though my opinion, what he did to Diddy Kane, y'all should watch that video. What he did to Diddy Kane, even when he was doing a big papa, what's his name? Notorious B.I.G. What he did to, Craig Mack. Like, this man really didn't pay his people. And right before Cassie dropped that lawsuit, suddenly he had some sort of change of heart. And it was like, I'm give everybody their rights to their publishing. Lies. He knew something was coming. So he wanted to seem like, I'm the good guy, just all of a sudden. You're not doing this out of the kindness of your heart. I know better. Because even with those people, and I don't know if you can really trust Aubrey O'Day, but Aubrey O'Day said that, and she was in Diddy Kane, she basically was like, I'm not signing this, because this letter basically says it's what do they call those letters? Oh God, I can't think of it. Where basically you have to sign this, and then you can never come after me, my mom, or whatever. They had to sign one of those types of letters that they can never disparage him in any capacity. And Aubrey O'Day was like, I ain't doing that. I'm not giving away my rights to this savage, and I support her. I'm like I said, I don't know if everything she says is true or not, because I don't know none of these people, and it's all alleged. But I'm saying I know what I saw with my eyes on that videotape. I know what I saw on the internet. Him talking about enough is enough. He's tired of people lying on him. And then the moment he said that, they trying to destroy my character and ruin my legacy. And that's the other thing DJEnvy was saying. You're trying to ruin his legacy. Let me get to that one. Hold on. Let me see. Let me share my screen, because that shit right there, I cannot. Let me see if I have that one. Okay. Oh, no. Hold on. What happened? Let me share my screen. Hold on. Share my screen. Is it this one?
Jokes. And I think that y'all two are great people to speak on that, because y'all done been famous way longer than me and Jess has. You know what I mean? DJEnvy, you done been at the party for a long time.
I never party though.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but
you gotta know what it means.
You didn't party with him. I didn't party.
But what's the second party?
I don't know.
That's the part. But don't skip that. Don't skip that. Like, don't skip that. Like, this nigga, Jess, why you be letting these niggas get away with this?
Okay, let me stop. There's another one that I wanted to share. Oh, hold on. Let me share. Is it this one? I feel like I just showed y'all that one. Let's see. I don't think it's this one, but let me just see.
We have a few questions for you. Just a few.
Where the questions coming from?
No, it's not that one. Not that one.
Investigation involving a real estate deal and one of the most recognizable voices in radio. Investors in a real estate venture say they were swindled out of millions of dollars. And they argue syndicated radio rapper Rashawn Casey, better known as DJEnvy from the show The Breakfast Club, promoted these deals. Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace talked to the alleged victims and has the response to those mounting accusations you're about to hear for the first time.
We've helped so many people, not just regular people, but celebrities, athletes, executives.
That's DJEnvy on his syndicated iHeartRadio show, The Breakfast Club. He's often promoted the real estate venture of his pal, Cesar Pina.
You might know him on Instagram as Flippin' NJ.
But it's more than just a passing endorsement.
You could partner with us on some deals, make some money with us.
Envy and Cesar have teamed up for seminars, including one at the Jacob Javits Convention Center, pitching opportunities to flip properties, often in distressed areas of New Jersey.
We invested $200,000 and looks like we're never going to get it back.
Jose Santiago and his wife, Jessica Ortiz, say they believed investing in this neighborhood of Patterson would be their ticket to the American dream.
That's the reason why I got into real estate, so we can actually start flipping properties, buying properties, so we can have something for our kids in the future.
The couple says they connected with entrepreneur Cesar after seeing him on social media with DJEnvy.
He's advertising this all over the radio and on television. I've seen shows of him all over the place, so I thought this was legit.
The pitch to invest in rundown properties that would be renovated and flipped for more money. The promise to return up to 30%. In some cases, Cesar didn't even own the properties. This couple took out $200,000 in equity from their Florida home, promised that 30% return within 4 months. Then they say nothing.
I'm paying the interest right now every month, and I have nothing.
Well, at this point, we just want our money back.
He was conned by Cesar into investing $235,000 in that same Patterson property, along with two others, $300,000 each for homes in Hawthorne and in Maplewood.
$835,000 in total on all three houses. There were other people investing in the exact same properties. It was a scam. It was a lie.
Augie Rios owns a custom auto wrap shop in Lodi, who says he worked on Envy's cars for years and believed his pitch. He did get back a return on an initial investment with Cesar, but maintains a second investment on this Patterson property went south.
If it wasn't for DJEnvy, I would have never invested into Cesar. I lost a total of $64,000.
After receiving 2 bounced checks, Rios says he got a visit from Cesar carrying this box of jewelry.
He said, take this jewelry until I can pay you back.
How much did he say this was worth?
15, 20 grand.
Then there's record producer Anthony Martini, who invested in what he thought was a promising apartment project in Patterson.
I lost $1 million.
And you went in because of DJEnvy.
Yeah, I did. I mean, you know, I'd known Envy for years.
Martini's attorney has filed a lawsuit.
It's some sort of Ponzi-like scheme where he's taking money from one investor to pay off other investors. Exactly. You're looking at over $40 million invested with the Pinas in their companies.
Wow. Here on Tony the Closer's Live.
The complaint floodgates opened up when alleged victims started appearing on the social media platform of influencer Tony the Closer, a self-proclaimed real estate scam watchdog.
I decided to make it where everybody would know the disgusting behavior that they're practicing.
Dozens of lawsuits have now been filed against Cesar and his wife. Several also name Envy, who has sued Tony the Closer for defamation after also going on with him live.
And there's nobody in here that could ever say Envy, they gave Envy $1.
Envy, whose real name is Rashawn Casey, declined to talk to the I-Team, referring us to a powerful Manhattan real estate attorney. He says the radio personality lost $500,000 to the Pinas in an investment deal to transform this vacant school building in Patterson into rental units.
He is a victim.
Oh my God.
Just like the other alleged victims are in connection with the scam.
Why, if he's a victim, hasn't he filed a lawsuit against the Pinas?
He has a legal right to file whenever he deems fit. He is now contending with cases that are being filed every day improperly against him.
Why not come out on his radio show and warn other alleged victims if he feels that he was?
This is they're ongoing litigations. And there's no room for them on, any sort of radio show.
So listen, and his attorney just said there's no room for that, but he can promote it on his radio show. But you can't warn people that have been taken advantage of so that nobody else gets taken advantage of, because there's no room for it on the radio show. But there was room for promotion. There was room for you to steal these people's money There was room for you to promote your friend, the liar, the scammer, or whatever. There was lots of room on the Breakfast Club for that. But you don't have no room to say, hey, listen, this dude did me dirty. He had me thinking X, Y, and Z. And so now I know that he's an awful human being. Whatever it is, he scammed me too. No one else should be doing business with this man. You don't have that to say? Because there's no room for that because of ongoing litigation. Fuck out of here. Like, I cannot with people. It's just, again, do you think that we were born yesterday? We use both sides of our brains over here on Chanel's Reality. That's all I'm saying. Search D for you. Says, heck, I worry about Cassie and her new family. I do too. That's the thing that I never understood, because Diddy is obviously a dangerous person. And according to these lawsuits, he has people everywhere, all kinds of goons and whatnot. So it's like, I never understood why Cassie was then felt enough to say, safe enough to say, okay, well, we're going to sue him. That was interesting to me. But apparently, I mean, maybe she feels like she's protected by the Southern District of New York. Maybe. Greetings, Chanel Reality. And chat. Hey, boo. Bed-Stuy BK. Bed-Stuy BK says, when it comes to the Sean Combs bail detention issue, the concern for me is that perhaps due process of the criminal justice system is not being followed. You think? Maybe. I think that this person, P. Diddy, has shown that he is a danger to society. Everybody, at least in our country, has the right to do due process, meaning we should allow them to prove their innocence. I do agree with that, because if you don't do that, then, it's a slippery slope for anyone that could possibly be, charged with something and that is innocent. But I don't think this man is innocent of anything. I don't think there is I don't know that there's a good part of his soul anywhere. I personally don't feel that way. That being said, I do think he deserves, to at least try to prove his innocence. I don't think he's innocent, but I think he deserves the right to prove it. Just like I would want my husband, my friends, me, anybody else to have that right to at least say, hey, yo, these people are lying on me. But the thing about it is, he sat there and said that these people are lying on me and they just out here for a payday and some clout. And then CNN played that tape of him saying that Cassie was lying. So now your credibility with me is gone. There is no more credibility in my book. But here we are. But it's just interesting to me that DJEnvy is out here saying, I think he thinks that P. Diddy should be able to get bail. Why would you want a menace to society to have bail? Exactly. So he could run across the pond over there to wherever Russell Simmons decided to go when he started getting charged, or when he thought he was going to get charged with very similar allegations. And where did Russell Simmons go? I think he went to Bora Bora, or where did he go? He went to some exotic place. Don't give me the line. It might not be Bora Bora, but it's some place like that doesn't extradite. And that's, I feel, what P. Diddy would have done if they let him out. But anyway, like I said, guys, thanks for choosing to tune in to Chanel's Reality. I have to get back to my vacation now. But I was like, when I saw DJEnvy talking about we need to let P. Diddy out and let him have bail, I was like, oh no, we gotta do a video on this, because this is malarkey. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, someone said in the chat that he's been who's this? Bella Williams says DJEnvy cheated on his wife and with Erica Mendez. I don't know who Erica Mendez is. Is that Erica Mina or Pina or whatever her name is? For years. Is that the lady from Love and Hip Hop, or one of those hip hop shows? I'm not sure. Because she seems like she gets around whoever she is. She seems the one. Didn't she have a baby with like Safari and Bow Wow? Or maybe she was just married to them. I don't know. Don't give me the line. I don't know, y'all, about that. But I think DJEnvy probably been cheating with a lot of women. I don't know that to be true. I wasn't there. I don't know none of these people. I wasn't there. But I have a good feeling that he was at those P. Diddy parties, at the after parties too. And he probably was indulging. It's my opinion. Because what reason would you have to say to try to protect this man? Why does he need to be out? And he's trying to say, well, he has a family, he has kids. So what? I feel bad for his kids, especially since it seems as though he had something to do with their mother's untimely death, if you ask me. Because the first coroner report was not saying it was a natural death. And also, if you read what that witness said, I think she was the niece or goddaughter or something. She said she woke up that morning and Kim Porter was in the bed with her. That's what she said. She said she was in the bed with her. But apparently she had felt falling down. She had gone to the restroom and fallen down. So my question is, how did she get back in the bed? If she fell down because she dropped dead of pneumonia. And let's be clear, Kim Porter and none of us on this internet right now that are in the United States of America should be dying from pneumonia. Not when we have a Western medicine. That lady did not die from that, in my opinion. But I don't know. I wasn't there. But if you ask me, she didn't die from that. There's way more steps in between contracting pneumonia and death than what she had. And secondly, and I'm not a medical professional in that way, but I did work in a hospital for years. So I know that if you do have pneumonia, pneumonia basically is your lungs getting filled with fluid. One of my best friends in the world, Lance, he was in the hospital because he had pneumonia. He had fluid in his lungs. And you go into the hospital because they stick a little tube in your lungs to drain the fluid. She didn't have none of that, but she dropped dead. That doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. It makes no sense. So yeah, I feel bad for the kids, especially the little girls, because how would they ever understand how to trust a man if your dad is a complete, utter savage? How? And your mom's not here to help you understand it. That's what I feel bad about, because it's like, oh my God, who do you go to? Who do you believe? You can't even ask your mom because she's gone now. You can't even ask her. Let's see. Bed-Stuy BK says Donald Trump is a convicted felon. He was convicted of terrible crimes, yet he is still flying around. I agree. Interviewing for a job. I agree. Spends time with his family and friends. I agree. I 100% agree. But I do also believe that is a distraction tactic that people use. They're like, well, this person over here is able to do. We all know we live in a world that ain't fair. Be clear. I got way more education than my husband, but he's always made more money than me. Is it fair? No. Way more education, way more, but he's always made more money than me. It just is what it is. We live in a world that unfortunately does not value females, and we certainly don't value females that are of color. It just is a fact. It just is what it is. The world is not fair. That I know for certain. And Donald Trump even getting elected after he's on tape talking about, I could sexually assault women because I'm a celebrity. They let you do it. That's what he said on that bus. And what did the media do? How did they spin it? Oh, that's just locker room talk. So sexually assaulting women is just locker room talk. They want you to just throw it away. And I get it. There's a part of our population that feels like, because I'm going to tell you this. When OJ, I was in high school when OJ was in that trial. I don't know how many of you guys out there listening, how old you were then, but I was in high school. I feel like I was in maybe the 10th grade, maybe. And I at the time, I live in Texas. So there's all kinds of racism and every ism that you can think about happening in Texas. And because of our history, right? Brown people in this country, because of the discrimination and all the things that have happened to us since, the people came across the water to get our ancestors and bring them here, it's never been fair, right? I was ignorant because I was probably 14, 15 years old when OJ got tried. I didn't even know who OJ was. But I remember thinking, I hope he gets off. This is not how I feel now. But at the time, I remember thinking, I hope he gets off. Because look at what they did to, what is the guy? Rodney King. Look at what they did to my husband's grandfather. They threw him in a machine and killed him. Because his wife was at home pregnant and they had 6 kids. And they were on strike or something. They were on some sort of strike. He crossed the line because, I guess you're not supposed to do that if trying to get a raise or whatever it was they were trying to do. But they threw him, this whole grown man who just went across the line because he got a family to feed, threw that man in a machine. And then threatened his wife, who was my husband's grandmother. Threatened her. You better not say a word. The company did give her some sort of money, but obviously wasn't enough. No amount would have been. So me having this sort of knowledge, so to speak, and having experienced so much discrimination, racism, or whatever, when I felt like OJ was going to be able to get off, I didn't care. This is me at 14, though. I'm different now, but at 14, I didn't care. I was like, do you know how many of our men are sent down, to prison for this, that, and the third? And that's all I cared about. I was like, well, if OJ got one, then he got one. It is what it is. Because you got a whole man getting beat to death, that's handcuffed by 5 policemen, and all 5 of them still get off. So in my mind, I feel like at my little 14, 15-year-old self, I feel like that's our lick. We're getting our lick back. Sorry to Nicole Kidman. I mean, not Nicole Kidman, but Nicole and the other Goldman guy. I don't feel that way now because I'm an adult and I see things very differently now. I'm a mature, educated adult. But at the time, that's how I felt. And I feel like a lot of people use that argument now. It's like, well, Donald Trump is, he's accused of this and these other people were accused of that. And so therefore, we should let this person out. I don't agree with that. I understand why people think that. But again, that to me is one of those, let's change the subject tactics. We don't need to change the subject. We need to get this idiot in prison. And we don't need to compare it to these other people, because really, if you're gonna use that argument, then release every black man that's in prison because of all the atrocities that this country has against us as brown people. There's a whole bunch of shit that ain't fair. Whole institutions that are full of black people getting mistreated, brown people getting mistreated. Every institution, the mental health institution, we get mistreated. The banking or financial institution, we get mistreated. The education system, we get mistreated. Law enforcement, on and on and on. It's never going to be a fair fight. Not in this country, on this soil, not ever. And I get it. People are like, well, if they're going to treat P. Diddy this way, they need to treat everybody this way. But we all know that's never going to happen. Look how many years Epstein, how many times he got arrested and didn't go to prison, didn't go to jail. And then not only did he get arrested multiple times, when it stuck, they charged him with soliciting a prostitute, when in reality, the women that he said that they were claiming were prostitutes were under the age of 18. They were high schoolers. And at the end of the day, they made those women who were assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein into prostitutes. It's lies. It's lies all day long. And yes, he got away with it for many years. He's not the only one. It's not going to be a fair fight. Because I would argue Epstein got away with it for way more years than P. Diddy did. And when they finally got him that last time, they say he offed himself. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. Because I think people like him are narcissists and they, like living. If they can get out of it, they can pay their way out of it, that's what they will do. Which is why P. Diddy did what he did. Let me put up 50 million. He didn't put up 50 million. Your bond is only 10%. So he may have put up 5 million. But I do get like how some people feel like, I don't care. If they're going to let Donald Trump off the hook, if they're going to let, all these other white men off the hook, then P. Diddy should be off the hook too. But I just don't think that's the right approach, so let's let all the criminals out because one criminal got off or because 10 criminals got off, then everybody else that's a danger to society should just be let out because these people were able to be let out because they're white. No, they're all savages. Lock them all up. Who I think you should let out, and I'm not a drug person because I ain't never done a drug in my life, but if you're really going to let some people out, let those people out, the people that were selling the dime bags. Because suddenly we got states in our union that you can sell it now. I'm in Jamaica. Did y'all know it's illegal to what did they say? It's illegal to smoke weed or something like that. Well, they have a percentage. So a certain amount of weed you could actually smoke without, going to jail because they want to decriminalize it or whatever the case may be. But I feel like people like Epstein, people like Bill Cosby, people like R. Kelly, people like P. Diddy, people like Epstein. I think I said Epstein, Harvey, Weinstein, and all the other ones, thousands of them. All of them need to be in prison altogether. And then you can let out the people who went to prison because they, had drugs in their car. It's stupid, but it's never going to be fair. Let's see. Ms. Bessa says Sean Combs has been indicted. Yep. Not convicted. Is he entitled to bail? I think everybody is entitled. I'm going to say it like this. If you're an American in this country, you have the right to request bail. I don't know that it's an entitlement, but I definitely think you have the right to request it. And your attorney is supposed to be presenting X, Y, and Z on behalf to basically tell the court, these are the reasons that we're requesting this bail, and this is the amount we're willing to, put up until trial starts or whatever. Bedsabi case says, therefore, when we speak about crimes, does guilt or innocence matter? Does due process apply to all? If yes, then one of two things have to happen: lock up Donald Trump or release Sean Combs on bail. I think you need to lock both of them up, is my opinion. I think they're both savages. They're two sides of the same coin. Neither one of them think that they don't see any, they don't have any guilt. They don't care. They're sociopaths. And listen, I've read the DSM. That's the Diagnostic Statistical Manual. It's what we use as therapists, or if you're psychiatrist or whatever. That's what you use to decide and determine the criteria for someone who's mentally ill. To me, based on what I've seen and heard and read in those lawsuits, both of those people are sociopaths. Both of them have said, I ain't do it. And we know better. We know better. We know you've done it. But I also know we don't live in a fair world. And it's never going to be fair. It's idealistic to say, well, if you're not going to put Donald Trump in, then you should let P. Diddy out. But I'm not going to let another savage out of jail simply because we didn't put that other savage in jail. I'm just not going to do that. Our what do you call it? Justice system will, though. They let all kinds of people out. They make all kinds of deals. Because really, honestly, if you really keep it a buck, the people that are going to fight in a criminal case, neither side, not the prosecution or the defense, want to go to court. They don't. What they would like to have happen is either the criminal that they are trying to prosecute takes a deal and says, I'll do 10 years or 15 years or whatever it is, right? They want them to either take that deal, because nobody wants to they don't want to go to trial. Trial is a whole bunch of work. You have to prep for and you got to prep not only your team, you got to prep your witnesses, you got to look at all the discovery, which is information that both sides, the prosecution and the defense, the information and evidence they've gathered, they have the right to see it. Both sides do. So you have to take time to review all of that, and then you got to prepare for trial. And they all know it's easier for everybody if we just settle. If we just get them to say, you know what, I'm going to take this plea deal. That way, the lawyers don't have to go to court. I used to work in criminal court. I mean, in family court. That's what they would do every time I came to court. Well, listen, and I'm like, I worked and I read the cases and I've done my research. You go over there, but we would come to court, they'd be trying to ask me. I'm like, don't ask me shit. You the attorney. I'm not getting paid like you. I get a paycheck, but it ain't like yours. So I'm not helping you. That's when I really learned exactly how the court systems work. And that's just family court. Those people, you don't even have to say family court. You can literally go down to traffic court. When you go into traffic court, what do they do immediately? Here, this ticket costs $300 something. If you could just pay us $125 and plead no contest, we'll just, take it off your record, whatever. That's what they do, because they don't want you to stand trial. They don't. And they know most people, don't have time to be sitting in court going back and forth with them about whatever. They also know if those people actually got an attorney and tried to get themselves off, they would win. But people don't have time and money. And that's how our justice system wins a lot. They wear you down with all kinds of resets of court dates and this, that, and the third. They want people to just take a plea so that they don't have to work. In this case with P. Diddy, I don't see him getting a plea. Because I'm like, what is he going to plead to? Because if they get that man on racketeering, that's the automatic life sentence, I believe. You don't ever get out of jail, is my understanding. But I'm not a lawyer. But what I read about it is like, if they convict you on that, not if they charge you, but if they convict you on that, you're not getting out of jail. But since he doesn't have a trial date yet and they haven't gone to trial, it's possible that he could say, or they could offer him something where they take racketeering off of the, table, and they say, well, if you plead guilty to these things, then we'll only give you 30 years. 30 years, he'll be 80 something years old. He might want to take that deal. I just have a sneaking feeling that the Southern District of New York wouldn't have done all that they've done so publicly if they were going to give him a deal. Unless whoever it is he can give to the prosecution or the federal government is a big fish, like a large, like whale. I think that would be the only way, but I don't think he's going to get out of prison. And if he does, it's going to be because they didn't go to trial or because he gave up some big fish. But even when you give up a big fish, let's just say hypothetically, you say this person did this and I have them on tape or whatever else, that big fish, just like P. Diddy is probably running out of money with all of his money he's having to use to secure and still retain his many attorneys now. The bigger fish that people think is there, and then maybe that person is there, or maybe those groups of people do exist, they got way more money than Diddy. So even if he gave up something, they would still have to build a case against those people. And again, it's not like something you do overnight. When you build like a type of criminal case that they're saying, the reason they charged P. Diddy with racketeering is because they said this man has created a criminal enterprise, which is how they got the mobsters. That's how they would get them. They're like, oh, you're doing all this. You're saying that, you have this club that, people are coming to, and you're saying that's where all your money, how you're making a profit or whatever. When in reality, that's not how you really making a profit. Or you have some hot dogs standing out front, and that's how you making that's not how you making a profit. Y'all remember that movie, American Gangster with Denzel Washington? And I forget that guy's name that Denzel was portraying in that movie. But that's how they got him. That's how they got him. He had all these front businesses. Oh, I have a laundromat. I have a car wash. No, that's racketeering. You're saying that you're doing this one business, but you're really not, and you're evading the IRS, and that's one group of people that you're not gonna get away from. And that's how they were able to get people like him. And I'm almost certain that's how they're gonna get Diddy. It's gonna be something dealing with taxes. I think he's gonna go down for tax evasion and trafficking. Just my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen. And I hope him and R. Kelly and Bill Cosby and Weinstein, all of them are in the same jail cell. I hate that Diddy's not in there with the regular population. I think he should be right in there with the hard heads. Yep. Who's bad now? Who's bad? Anyway, guys, like I said, I'm gonna get back to my vacay. Thanks, guys, for watching this episode of Chanel's Reality. I can't believe I've been on here for a whole hour. Thank you guys to all of the people that came through and commented and liked my video. Please, please, please like the video, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time on another episode of Chanel's Reality. Talk to you later. Bye.